Hey guys, Stacy here. So some of you know that I just celebrated this last week my 5-year anniversary of being married to my very hunky Andy B. And if you guys had asked me March 1st, hey Stace, how do you think you and Andy are going to celebrate being married for 5 years? I would have told you about the new dress that I had just purchased that I was very excited to wear. I would have told you that I was debating behind going out to a new restaurant that we could try, or maybe doing a party for all our friends and family to get together for. What I would not have told you is that we intended to celebrate by hiking, because it's the only way we get outside anymore, and then getting takeout to eat in our home, quarantined and alone, without any family or friends. And I'm going to imagine, if I had asked you as a high schooler back on the March 1st, hey, how do you think you're going to spend the first week of April? I'm going to guess that not a single one of you would have said, Stace, I'm going to be locked inside of my home with my family because my parents are probably going to be working from home partly by then. I am going to no longer go to my classes because they're not meeting in person anymore, which means there's not going to be a prom. Graduation is either canceled or going to be unknown. I'm not going to be able to hang out with my friends, and everywhere fun to go is going to be closed. I'm going to guess that is not what you were expecting as of March 1st. That's not what you were expecting to spend your April as. And the truth is, sometimes life is not what we expected it to be. And I've been reflecting on this because this week we're starting Holy Week, which means the week leading up to Easter Sunday. And I'm going to bet for the disciples who lived the first Holy Week, life was not what they expected it to be either. You know, the disciples were Jesus' closest followers. They were his best friends. And yes, there is a faith that compelled them when they followed Christ. There's something about Christ that was different about Jesus where they said, I'm going to change my whole life to follow that guy. But also, they had an expectation of what it was going to look like to follow the Messiah. Like, the Messiah was supposed to be this warrior. He was supposed to step in and overthrow Rome and establish Israel as this nation and give them all this power and all this prestige. And I am going to bet the disciples had a little bit of an expectation when that happened. They're like, we're his right-hand guys. I bet when Jesus takes over, think about the status and the title and the placement we'll have as his best friends. There's even this part of the Bible where Peter, who's kind of the mouthy disciple and too honest anyway, says so Jesus, what's going to be our reward? What are we going to get for being your guys when you take over? And then suddenly life was not what they expected. Because then when they lived Holy Week, they watched who was supposed to be warrior Jesus, they instead watched him get arrested under lies. And then they watched him not defend himself when it came to trials. And then they watched him get turned over to the Rome he was supposed to be overthrowing as a warrior, only to be tortured and humiliated and hung on a cross to die and thrown in a tomb with the rock rolled over. And life was not what they expected it to be. But the truth is, they also didn't expect Easter. They didn't expect a God who loved them, who loved people so much he would send his son to die and be resurrected for us. And not so that he can condemn us, not so that we can be presented with this list of our weaknesses and all the things that we do wrong, and this list of rules that we need to follow if we ever want to be welcomed by God. No, that's expected. God did the unexpected and said, no, I love you. I sent my son because I love you. He's not warrior Jesus. That would have been expected. Instead, he's the unexpected Jesus who said, I came to bring you life. You were created to know wholeness and connection, and I showed up to show you how to do that, how to know peace and kindness and honesty. That was unexpected because he's an unexpected God. And I know right now, life is not what you expected it to be. But maybe right now, God's doing the unexpected. Maybe, for instance, last week we talked about the value of being honest. Being honest in prayer and being honest to God and the fact that he's big enough to handle that honesty. Well, what if another thing that the unexpected God is doing right now is giving us the space to be with our families? What would it look like? if we found safety and honesty with our parents during this time, with a sibling right now. I know that is not expected, and for some of you, that is a joke. But what if God is doing the unexpected and giving us space to be honest with our family? What would that look like for you? What would that take? What would that mean? I know right now life is not what we expected it to be, but we have the hope of a very unexpected God, the hope of a very unexpected Easter that is coming for us. And I hope that maybe one of the unexpected things you might get to experience is how to be honest and feel safe at home with your family, at home with your parents. Wash your hands, know that you are loved, and know that you are missed. Happy Easter, almost.